Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between mouz.Biggs and Empire.Mista. It is a PvZ on Daybreak, and this is gonna be an interesting game because I haven't seen either of these players play before in my life. Thorzane gave credit to Biggs, and Empire.Mista beat Whiterun in a BO7. That's why I cast this game. I kinda heard of the players, haven't seen them play, and I didn't do any research on them just because it is Diablo 3 launch day, and I want to play that game. However, to keep with my New Year's resolution on one cast per day, I had to cast a game, so here we are, going to be casting the PvZ on Daybreak. Mista is going to be going for a Forge Phase Expanded. Now the thing Mista has to wonder is, how am I going to take my third base? Is he going to do 2-base aggression? Is he going to just take his third base insanely quick like Whiterun does, build a few cannons, and really delay any aggression, let the Zerg do whatever the heck they want macro-wise? It is all going to be up to Mista how he wants to take his third base. And Biggs, all he has to do is say, okay, well, I'm going to go on 3 bases and probably build a few roaches and start getting roaches in case Mista does end up taking his third, and then I'm going to go attack both the third and his natural, take out the third base, or take out the natural and win the game. That's basically how games on Daybreak do go. We do have Mista coming in, scouting, doesn't see a spawning pool yet. It is at 14 supply, so Biggs will be building that pool right now at 14. Now, generally, you do see players go for a 15 pool, 15 hatch. So right now, this is already a little bit interesting. Going to go for a 14 pool. This is kind of like the old style that I saw a lot like a month or two ago when Zergs was still trying to decide between hatch first or pool. Now they kind of decided, well, we always have to go pool first, so let's go 15 pool, 15 hatch. That seems to be the most optimal. We do see that probe being a little bit annoying, and looking at these Overlord scouting positions, we're going to see where they go. This one looks like he's going to be going all the way back right behind right here. This will allow him to see both of these gases. That is pretty key. Maybe he's going to go up here, and the second Overlord will go down here. My bet is the first Overlord goes down here. The second Overlord will stay right here. That is what I am guessing is going to happen. They can move wherever they want because Protoss isn't going to have any anti-air up anytime soon. So if he wants, he can place Overlords anywhere he wants. But placing one right here sees if a probe does leave. And that is key because if you end up killing this probe, or this probe ends up coming back home, you know. If the probe comes back home, you know, okay, let's look for pylons. He's been somewhere just hanging out. He left my base like 45 seconds ago. And he's coming back. That's late. He should be back in 30 seconds. I don't know exactly the times it takes for the probe to go across the map, but you kind of get the idea. Just kind of keeping tabs on this one probe, see when he returns home. So that's why I like the Overlord right here. This Overlord, either back here to watch the gases, or over here. If you're over here, you can still poke your way up and get the gases. And you also have the choice to suicide your way in case Lings come into the base and see these gas timings. So we'll see exactly what happens there. We do have Biggs taking out the one probe, is going to be going for third base relatively quickly. This is at 4:30. The third base does go down, does already have one queen out. The second queen is in production. And going into these queen attack, this is 5 range, so this is on the latest patch. And a Ling is going to be hunting down this one probe, does find it over at the watchtower, leaves one Ling at the watchtower. Now, the Overlord is right here, so he's going to see if another probe does leave. And that is definitely key for Biggs. And just if the probe tries to sneak along this corner, he may be able to sneak past, but because the Sab Nexco is built where it is, I don't think the probe can actually sneak past this one Overlord. No, it still can, just barely. Ling is going to go on patrol right here. That's a little bit odd. I would have put the Ling on patrol right there because this is where the probe has a chance of sneaking on out. Anyways, we have both gases. Were they taken at the same time? 2400, 2400. Yes, so both of those gases were taken at the same time. We're at 5:45, so it looks like Biggs should be throwing down both gases any second down. Maybe at 6:30. I thought it was 5:45. There we go. Looks like it's at 6 minutes for Biggs. You're going to be doing 2 gases. That will allow him to get a lair up very quickly. Now the question is, does he rush up to a lair, or does he get speed first? That is the next option Biggs is going to have. If you go up for a lair first, you can get a roach one. You can start speed while your lair builds. And when your lair finishes, you can immediately get roach speed. A little bit early, but that does allow you to deal with Blink Stalkers. Because if you don't go for the lair first, then like a 7-gate Blink Stalker to all in can easily kill you. But if you have roach speed, that won't happen. We do have another Ling on patrol back here. Actually, that's the same Ling deciding let's go down here. So, pretty cool decision there. We do have Lings on both of these watchtowers. Overlord is moving out. Looks like maybe he's going to go in this position. I can't see where he's stopping, so no idea where that Overlord's going. He does perk this right here on this little high ground and does see that one gas. Does he see the second gas? Yes, he does. So now he sees two gases. He is going to be getting an Evo Chamber right now because two gases this early generally means Stargate or DT play. And the Evo Chamber beats them both because you get detection and you get anti-air. So Evo Chamber is always the best call. We may even see a blind Spore Caller built. And it is going to be fast Colossus or maybe an Immortal push. We'll see exactly what Mista is doing. What does Mista scout of a Zerg player? Nothing. He's seen 3 bases, and that's all he wanted. Stalker does pick off one lane. We do have another Stalker moving around the map. This Overlord is going to go to the little high ground and be just safe. Very nice job of Biggs finding out those high ground spots. I guess it's not really her. There is a little thing to tell you when your Overlord's in. That's what I like about this map. Little things like that, where you can just see, oh, yep, my Overlord is on the high ground. Awesome. +1 armor started. Is that first? Nope, that is going to be second, so Mista will be going up to 1-1. And the Overseer is morphing. Now he's going to be sacrificing his life. And one interesting thing is, the Overseer, when he finishes morphing, unlike any other Zerg unit, he goes back to full health. So this Overlord, you can see his health now. Boom, back fully in the drain. So he's not even low in health. And we do have the Warp Prism loading up. This is going to be great for Biggs to know, because he's going to see the Robo facility, be like, okay, well, maybe it's going to be a Warp Prism play, or maybe he's going to be thinking DT. And we do see Blink being researched and a Robotics Bay being built. And this would be really, really fast Colossus, so I'm assuming maybe he's going to be picking up on this, that you wouldn't go for Colossus and Blink that quickly. That is just way too much gas. Lings are going to find this one Warp Prism. He does see it, but the question is, does he see it? No reaction just yet. Roach is actually going down, and it looks like he completely missed the Warp Prism. That is going to be really bad for Biggs right now. Zealous being dropped in a surround on the Queen. Very nice job. Also scouts the Spire. That is going to be taken out. There are no sentries with this. And just Zealot, so he can't force field the ramp. If he had one sentry, he could have taken out the main or at least done a lot more damage. The Spire does immediately get rebuilt. Actually, 2 Spires going up, and this one does get canceled, so he realizes, oh, I don't even have to cancel my Spire, and no real damage done besides the Queen going down. Not a huge loss. You can see both players losing exactly the same amount of resources right now. Ling's on patrol right here, just watching this third base. And that was probably Biggs' plan. He was probably hoping, Mista's plan, not Biggs. Mista's plan. He was probably hoping to do a little bit more damage there. If he did more damage there, then he wouldn't have to take this third base so quickly. But because going to this worker kill count, he killed 0 workers. All he killed was a Queen. He's going to have to take his third base right now. He did no damage. This is allowing Biggs to take another base. So Mista really has to go on a third base. And this, a little bit risky. He is going to kill that Overlord. That is good. 127 supply, 288. Nexus is going down. But because he did no damage, Biggs is going to have to go on the aggression, and he can do a lot of damage to Mista right now. Well, not right now. Maybe in like 3 Lava productions, he will be able to do a lot of damage. However, we do have Immortals, an Observer being built in the back, but he does have 1 Immortal out. +2 attack is done, working on +2 armor right now. So there is a chance that the Immortals will be high enough in the count to deal with these Roaches. He has to start production back on Immortals immediately. Like right now, he needs to be building an Immortal. Gonna be warping in more gates. He does have a Templar Archives up. Has 500 gas, 300 minerals. So is he gonna get Archons out, or is he gonna get more Immortals? The Lings do scout this one base. 2 cannons here to protect it. That may not be enough. Biggs is getting a lot of Roaches. He does have a Spire getting a Corruptor out just because he did scout this Robo Bay. So he knows Colossus can come out any second. So that is one thing Biggs is getting those Corruptors for. That's probably why he wanted to get the Spire so much. That's why he built the second Spire in case this one went down. He didn't want a Colossus time to be coming behind this, because one of the things Mista could have done is just did that play, kill the Spire, force Biggs to build a lot of Roaches to defend this little Warp Prism harass, go into Colossus, and just stomp this ground army and not even take a third base. But the Warp Prism going to be coming out and will be going down relatively quickly. Only has 2 Zealots in it, so not a huge loss. Doesn't unload those guys. Lings are now retreating. Biggs deciding not to engage them. Stalkers do blink, going in this army supply. You can see It's 116 to 62. Roaches want to go up. Corruptor's providing vision. And now the Roaches do get up here, and are they going to run past? They can't run past. There is a Zealot wall, but they do get a great concave. You do see some corruptions going down on those Stalkers, and now the Roaches just going forward, getting in melee distance. That's what they have to do, and now they can target down those two Immortals. Getting both those Immortals will be really big, and now the Roaches want to back off. The Stalkers do an aggressive blink, picking off a lot of Stalkers, or a lot of Roaches on the retreat. Corruptor's now absorbing some damage. Blink goes off, one Corruptor goes down, the Oversteer does fall as well, +3 attack, now finishing for Mista. However, Fungal Growth has started for Biggs, and Fungal Growth will be excellent against Blink Stalkers. Killed off all their Immortals so he can safely build more and more Roaches. More Immortals are going to be on the way, not getting any Colossus whatsoever. This was probably just for the Warp Prism speed, possibly, or maybe it was to set up a timing. As I was talking about, if he did damage, forced a lot of units, then he could set up a 2-base Colossus timing. But because he didn't do any damage, he was forced to take that 3rd base. And going into the workers, it is 68 probes to 74 drones, more and more gateways being built. And that's one thing so far I have liked of Mista. He's always ramping up his production, always slightly building a few more gateways just so he has a lot of gateways when it comes to the end game. Can always use his money. Gonna be taking yet another base. Stalkers going down right now. Mista, though, don't know if he wants to be too aggressive because Biggs is going to have Infestors out. If the Stalkers go too far, overextend, the Fungus will easily kill them with 7 Infestors out on the field with a bunch of Lings. So Biggs is going to go for some Ling Infestor play. This one Ling still watching this one area. Is that out of this watchtower? No, it isn't. He can see it because, well, he has a watchtower, plus he has this one Observer. And that Overlord right here, maybe that's in range to see if any probes come up. I doubt this actually gives him any information whatsoever unless a Warp Prism does fly, so he won't know if that 5th base does get taken for Mista. A lot of Spine Claws being built by Biggs, and now he's going to be getting both of his gases while this one hatch does build, but doing this just a little bit late. Nice to have the idea to start getting your gases while the hatch builds. That's what players are starting to do, so they have the gases immediately. As you do see, Biggs is strapped for gas. That's why he just built 10 Spore Crawlers, or Spine Crawlers, because, well, he had a lot of money. He's like, okay, let's just get a bunch of Spines. Also frees up supply. And Broodlords will be coming out. The Greatest Power just about done. Fungrowth goes off on a Stalker. We do have mainly Lings and Infestors, but there are High Templars with Storm, and Storm is very good against Lings. Once Storm does go down, these Lings going to be falling very quickly if they get caught in a Storm. You can see the Lings now going down, but oh my god, a Storm on his own units. I don't know what that was about. Fungrowth does go down on the Stalkers. Now the lane's getting surrounded. These Templars don't have any more Storm energy. Feedbacks there going off on some Infestors. Corruptors out. They can't do anything. This 5th base of Biggs is going to be falling. He does have more Spine Crawlers back here to help defend the 4th base, as Infestors do get Fungrowth off when Stalkers get in range of these Spines. And this hatch will be falling. There's no saving this whatsoever. And Adrenal Glands being researched. Zealots taking out their Spine Crawlers. These Infestors staying a little bit too close to the danger zone. And they should be, yes, retreating. A little bit of mistake not to pick off those Infestors. And oh my god, this base actually survived. I honestly did not see this base living. Maybe it's because we had Mista go and start attacking these Spine Crawlers. Didn't really target down this base, so Biggs still on his 5 bases. He did lose a few workers, but he's at 76 workers still, so he is... Wait, no, he didn't really even lose workers. Mista only killed 4 drones, so going in this Lost tab, you can see the Lost is actually pretty darn good. That was a surprising defense by Biggs. I did not see that coming one bit. And now he is safely building those Broodlords, getting more Infestors. Even kept a lot of those Infestors alive. Out of the 7, I think he kept 5 or 4 alive. He kept over half of them. So Biggs didn't really lose too much there. He lost a lot of Lings and Roaches. 2 units that he doesn't want anymore. And now Stalker's going to blink underneath these Broods. One Broodlord does go down, or maybe it just got transfused. I think it did get transfused and did not fall. More Fungus going down on those Zealots, trying to keep the Broodlords away from the Archons and Stalkers. And now Mista is forced to pull back. Biggs yet again does hold, and this base lives now in the deep red. But it is going to be standing, and that is all that matters to get this gas income from this base, as we do see Biggs definitely strapped on gas. And now Mista, he's probably going to be saying, okay, I have to take another base. And actually has 4 workers in this gas, 2 in this gas. And Probe, there we go, is going to be taking this base. The Overlord, though, goes at the magic time to see the base. Didn't get there quick enough to block the Nexus. And, does he have Overlord speed? It looks like, yeah, no, he is researching it. No, that is ground care base, flying care base. So, yeah, he does have Overlord speed. Lings are going to be coming to take out this 5th base. There is a Warp Prism now coming out to do a little bit of harassment. And Warp Prisms begin to be pretty darn effective because, as you see, Biggs moving all of his Infestors now to deal with this Warp Prism. He doesn't really have any fast units, so that is going to allow Mista now to go and engage the Broodlords. However, the Broods do sit underneath of Spine Crawlers, but those Stalkers going to be picking off a lot of Broods. It looks like all 7 may go down right here. Yes, he's going to lose a lot, but a lot of those Broods go down, and that is key. You can see Mista doesn't have the money or the gas, and this time, this base better be falling. It will be a huge mistake if this doesn't fall. Oh my god! The 5th base is still standing. I do not comprehend. Gets a whoop in, and now, here we go. 5th base does fall. We do have Infestor still with Fungal, but the Blink does go down. And they are getting picked off and getting a big Fungal off on a lot of their Stalkers, but losing a lot of Infestors in the meantime. And that is not good for Biggs. He doesn't have the gas to build both Infestors and Broodlords, so he's going to have to start making choices, and that is never a good situation. You want to be able to build both of those units. 2 Broodlords or 4 Broodlords back there, raining down on these Stalkers. And Urkon is going to come start picking off these Infestors. Roach is pretty brave, and is he going to take that? No, he isn't, but an Infestatoran does come out. He does hatch and finishes off that Urkon. 2 Broodlords now do remain, killing off these 1 Zealots. And Mista still has not taken his 5th base. So if Biggs can manage to hold, he may be okay. I'm not sure, but he is moving in a lot of Broodlords. And we don't actually have Mista doing any type of Stargate tech. So this could actually be really good for Biggs. There's no Stargate tech, so he doesn't have to worry about a mothership. So, as I said, he had to make choices. Well, actually, he doesn't have to make choices. He could just literally mass Broodlords, and they will be cost-effective against Stalkers in the long run. But a handful of DTs are coming, and there's no detection whatsoever. A brilliant switch, but he's attacking the Lings and Droges. That may not be the best. Should go straight for those Infestors. And Overseer is getting morphed right now. Those DTs forming a wall around the Stalkers are doing their best to, but all the Stalkers do fall. Now the DTs want to pick off these Infestors. However, Overseer is here, and now they can't. And that could have been a huge play if the DTs decided to go for these Infestors. And now a Blink does go. 1 Broodlord goes, 2nd one, and 3rd will be falling shortly. And now Lings are coming. The Stalker AI being a little bit stupid. Does attack Lings for a few seconds. Again, attacking Lings. Has to switch back to the Broodlord. And there we go. Going to be tugging back again on the Brood. Does take that out. Now DTs will be chasing these Infestors that don't really have any energy. Phone Growth does go off. He can get another one down, but it doesn't get it. There we go. 1 Phone Growth goes down. Now Infestatorans has to do another one, but he no longer has the energy. The DTs do stay and get cleaned up by the Infestatorans and Lings. But, nope, this base has not fallen. This DT is getting surrounded. 111 supply to 125. Biggs behind right now, and going into this income tab, we do see Biggs actually behind on income. In that, they're all mining on the same number of bases. It looks like he is doing a drone transfer right now. It looks like he had too many drones at this base, and no, he does have perfect saturation there. Pretty much perfect saturation all around, so I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe it's just because the drone transfer and that little bit, a little oversaturated, is still a little bit more than that is just not efficient. However, he can't really be efficient with as many drones as he does have. These Stalkers will be getting taken out. And Neuroparasite being used on an Urkon to start taking out these Stalkers, and that is not going to be enough. Mista looks like he has just a little bit too much and will be taking out Biggs. Did not see that coming, and I think the whole game-defying moment, GG goes off right there, was the Warp Prism play right here. The War Prism came, all of the Infestors came and pulled back. And that allowed Mista to come in and snipe a lot of Broodlords. And that's never good, losing all those broods. So I really think that's kind of the game-defying moment. Also, the DT play was kind of nice. I don't think it really did as much as the War Prism down here. It would have been really nice if he went after the Infestors with the DTs and pulled them out of the combat, and then used his Stalkers and just focused the Broodlords down. That would have been much better than how he did handle that. But I'm not going to be doing SC2 gears. I am sorry. I really want to go out for my daily run and play Diablo 3. So be happy I casted, because I was watching before this. There are no pro players really streaming StarCraft 2. Everyone switched to Diablo 3. I didn't want to do that to you guys. I want to give you at least some content. So enjoy what was casted, and I will see you tomorrow. But for now, I am going to be playing Diablo 3. Take care.